So here's what you will need for the drivetrain assembly. Now to get these C-clips, I had to open a bag that came out of the bag with all the bags that say plastic bag 1, plastic bag A, B, C, okay? So you gotta grab that. It'll have a bunch of different spur gears in it. Make sure you grab that to get these C-clips because it does not come in plastic bag D. Or bag D, sorry, not plastic bag D. Bag D. So now to start the drivetrain, it's pretty simple. I have it all set up. You just kind of slide everything through and it should be good to go. So you just, it's just like the differentials. You pretty much just slide all your pieces through and you're good to go. Like so. Okay, so I'm already noticing something that's going to make me mad in the future just by looking at this. Now, this spur gear is plastic, right? It's not metal, it's plastic. And if you shred this spur gear, it's going to be a pain to redo. You got to pull out all 4 screws, undo this entire assembly, refill it with this 20-watt glue, I'm assuming, because when you pull this off it's probably going to go everywhere, and then replace it. So I would recommend just buying a metal one, throw it on there to start with. It'll make things a whole lot easier because they're less likely to shred. So here is what you need for step 14. There will be 7 of these little screws. Make sure you have your chassis facing the right way, and you can base it off of this hole and the receiver box. So as you see, I had it the wrong way. Now it's correct. And you're pretty much just going to screw them in. Make sure you use Loctite because you are doing a metal connection, because they do screw into the chassis. And if you use that Loctite, they'll stay tight through the rough. Alright, so I have the chassis pretty much all put together. As you can see, the only downfall to this is aluminum, but these are plastic. So if this whole thing were aluminum, it would be pretty sick, but so far it seems actually sort of sturdy. Anyways, this is what you'll need for half of the beginning of 15. You'll need the aluminum motor mount, which is way nice, this plastic piece, that, and these 4 screws. Now pretty much you're just putting these in on top of this, and then you'll screw it in from the bottom. Alright, so this is the end of 15. It's all together. As you can see, it spins very nicely. Make sure that you do put it on correctly. The first time there's this little plastic plate underneath, and I had it upside down, and this wasn't aligning correctly, so I've now since fixed that, and it now spins really nicely. No play, super solid, and on to 16. Alright, so here's what you're going to need for half of part 16. Again, you just pretty much slide everything together and you'll be good to go. The second half of part 16, you will be assembling the actual steering assembly, and then moving on to 17, you'll be attaching it to the chassis. So I will do this off camera. Alright, as you can see, I have the whole steering assembly set up, and quick note, you don't want to tighten this all the way. You want to slightly back it off so it can freely spin. If you have it too tight, it doesn't move as easily and will burn out your motor and your servo. So step 17, you'll be adding link arms to the steering setup. Actually, it comes off of this, so it'll be like this, and they'll go out onto the front diff and have steering. I will attach that to the chassis as it says to in step 17, and I will come back in 18 when we attach this. Alright, so here we go. We're going to take our little multi-tool here. You take your rod. This is for the actual steering arm. Now on one side you're going to have this slightly hooked eyelet, and the other side, oops, you're going to have a straight one. It'll be nice and easy to work with. So I'm not going to assemble this on camera, but as you can see, you just slide this into here. It's super helpful. I will assemble this all onto the chassis and show you the final product. Alright, so I now have assembled the front diff and drive shaft along with the steering assembly. As of now, it's still a little loose because I haven't put anything on top to hold this in place, and the servo arms, or the steering arms, sorry, are not actually connected yet. That's on step 19, which I'll do here in a minute. Alright, I finally have the whole front assembly set and ready to go, except for the shocks and, I guess, vitals. This piece of plastic holds on your steering arms, which is actually super helpful. So once you get that on, you don't have to worry about holding it upside down and all the pieces falling out. It doesn't have a very good turning radius, but I mean, most of the time you're just going to be drifting or through dirt, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's for bashing. So yeah, I mean, it seems pretty solid. No complaints so far. So we'll see. It does have a nice servo saver, and those are always really nice. I did have to adjust the steering knuckles to make the drive train straight because it was actually towed outwards. So do put it in like the instructions say, and then eyeball it and figure out how much you need to pull it out. I might actually pull it out a little more, it looks like, but otherwise it's good, it's ready to go. So now we're going to take this back one. I'm going to readjust the back one just like I did the front one and pull these inwards so that the wheels are straight, and we'll put that on. Alright, so I now have both drive shafts all on, all the diffs and the front and rear assembly is all connected, ready to go, except this one doesn't have any shocks, neither does the front, but that's okay. We'll get to that in a minute. I like this design, it's very nice. It's even got this cool little skid plate on the back, which isn't a big deal, but like, you screw it in, and that's actually going to really help because it'll keep the corners looking nice, make this whole thing look nice and shiny. Anyways, so far looking good. Make sure you put the diffs in correctly because there's a little like filled area, or it's a little indent where the gear actually goes, and make sure to grease them both before you put them into your car. So yeah, I'm gonna go and attach this piece here, put that on, and that's step 21, and then we'll move on to the whole motor mount for step 22, and I will go through the motor mount with you guys.